Montana, home to 1 million people, spread across more than 145,000 square miles.
Go!
Here, justice is upheld by the few.
Sir, hey, sir. Cool. See right there for me?
But the threats they face are as vast as the land.
Look at that rim. Holy mackerel.
A 4-year-old little girl in there, amazing. Broke a track.
This is Big Sky Justice. In western Montana, Deputy Bill Burt patrols some of the state's most dangerous highways.
396 clear at 1721.
But today, he gets a call that takes him onto its treacherous mountain roads.
396 units, we're getting a report of an injury accident. This one vehicle at this time. A total of 4 people in the vehicle. Male and female are trapped inside.
39649, where's that at?
5 miles of Miller Creek Road.
We're way away from that. It's a one vehicle crash with 4 people involved and 2 are trapped.
The crash has been on scene for 12 hours.
There's still somebody in the car?
They had been trapped and passerby apparently fell upon them.
Communications in certain areas stink. Very little is line of sight due to the mountain ranges. So without a repeater up on top of every high spot, there are lots of places in the county that you just can't communicate.
With no cell signal, the crash victims have been trapped in the freezing temperatures all night.
We want to get somebody there as soon as possible to, number one, secure the scene, make sure that this isn't going to get any worse. Somebody else doesn't come around a corner, crash into it, and then to obviously render aid and try to get those people out of the car stabilized.
With the temperatures continuing to fall and the exact injuries sustained unknown, there's no time to waste.
We're just about done with pavement.
506 to myself for 1019 booking.
As you'll see when we get out here on some of these roads and these places that aren't marked very well, it's hard to describe to somebody exactly where you're at.
Almost half an hour later,
I didn't think we were going to make it, but we did.
Bert reaches the frantic scene.
I need straps. I'm getting you stuff. Towel rolls, Larry. Yep. See, almost got landed on top of it.
These people crashed somewhere around 12 hours ago, and they have been laying in their car ever since. I don't know, what is 20 degrees out here right now? All 4 of them are in serious need of medical attention. The last guy that was just being loaded into that ambulance was bleeding out of his ears, which is never a good thing.
He needs urgent attention, so deputies call in the medevac chopper.
We got to move the ambulance, guys. The life flight guy's going to be waiting up there for you.
They've got to be careful on these narrow mountain roads, or they'll fall off the cliff face as well.
Got this much room. It's the kind of problem you run into on these single-lane mountain roads. You don't have enough room to get emergency vehicles around each other, especially the ambulances that are wider.
The trucks cautiously inch their way out of the woods to the waiting life flight helicopter, who will transport the worst of the 4 victims to nearby Missoula.
Grab a hold. You can start hurting while we're moving. You can let us know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Keep going. Very good. Good. Time. Good. Nobody would have found them. Sure as hell wouldn't be alive.
In Big Sky country, the line between life and death can be pretty thin, especially after a big snowstorm.
Yesterday was a nice day, and now today we had near blizzard-like conditions. It takes a lot to shut down an interstate up here, so the interstate being shut down is a big indicator of the kind of weather that we're having. This is the first snowstorm we've had of the year, so we generally get a lot of people caught unaware. They hear it's going to snow and they don't think it's going to be such a big deal, and they get caught in it and find out how serious it really is.
It's up to Deputy Clark to save them. Sometimes from themselves.
6425.
Couple hunters had a plan to meet up somewhere, and the other guys never showed.
I copy. We have some people who have already spent one night out in the woods. They can't find the trail. The storm came in, pretty much blanketed everything, wiped out any trail. They have marginal supplies, very little water. Doesn't sound like they have much in the way of shelter.
Deputy Wood contacts the local search and rescue volunteers and heads to the hunters' last known location in the massive Helena National Forest. With the sun and the temperature plummeting, they need to move fast.
We probably have about 2 to 3 hours of daylight left. Temperature is supposed to get down to around 17 degrees in the local valley. It means it'll be colder up there by 5-10 degrees. If they don't have a good shelter and can't get a fire going, hypothermia is probably the most danger that they have.
It doesn't take much for hypothermia to set in. Just a 3-degree drop in body temperature.
I'll give you an update here once I find their vehicles where they put in at.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like they have a real good clue of where they're at. So did these guys go in on horseback?
That's affirmative. I think they're about 8 miles back in there.
Just let me know what the search and rescue is looking at on their maps and how they want to attack this. I don't see a way to get four-wheelers in here.
Okay, just hang tight in the area. As soon as we get some guys mobilized, we'll start looking at those maps. Figure out the best way.
10-4. The terrain is just, it's way too rough and rugged. The trailhead is real steep, real rocky, so it's either going to be foot or horseback to get into these guys. We're waiting for the search and rescue to make it up to our location. It's getting dark, getting colder. The area that we're in right now is known as Refrigerator Canyon for good reason. Usually gets a little bit colder down here in this canyon than the surrounding areas.
Finding lost hikers in these mountains is a challenge. But doing it in the dark is damn near impossible.
What's the conflict with the location? Because
The issue they were talking about was the GPS coordinates that we received through dispatch versus where they're describing the route that they took. It's not jiving up too well. There's a couple miles difference. So they're somewhere between, here in Cascade County.
Yeah.
That's a big area.
We got GPS coordinates from the 911 call from the cell phone, which put them in a certain section. However, the guy calling it in, with the directions he gives, puts them 2 or 3 miles away from that point. And they're trying to figure out, before we go traipsing off into the dark, where exactly we need to go traipsing to, because they're 2 different directions.
Search and rescue saying that they're going to be fumbling around in the dark to try to find these people.
All right, bye.
The discrepancies between the hunters' 2 sets of coordinates this late in the evening means Deputy Wood has to make a tough call.
We're not going to endanger any of the searchers unnecessarily. We're just going to have to tough it out one more night.
He'll resume the search at first light and hope the stranded hunters make it through the freezing night.
Unfortunately, that's kind of the bad part about search and rescue, is you have to make decisions like that.
A cold dawn breaks over Montana's Refrigerator Canyon, where a group of hunters have been missing for the past 2 nights. But Deputy Uriah Wood is determined to bring them home alive and meets the rescue volunteers to formulate a plan.
Are you ready for this?
Nice day for a ride, huh?
Yeah, real nice day for it.
Are those guys going to stay where they're at,
Yep, that's what they were told last night. Okay, good luck.
Thanks. These guys have seen it all.
When they think they're getting close, the searchers are going to fire 3 shots, wait for a return 3 shots, which is pretty much the standard signal.
Wood stays behind at the trailhead to run communications.
Control 525.
The coordinates from the hunter's cell phone still don't jive with their surroundings.
The coordinates are where they're headed first, so hopefully the coordinates are right.
What's worse is the hunters are on the move.
Well, now I've got these guys on the phone with dispatch, and now they're moving. which is the absolute worst thing that you can do.
Wood relays the new update to his team on the mountain.
Well, I don't know what to tell you then, because we were less than a mile from their location that is shown up from the first call that they made to the office. Do we have a sense that he knows where he is?
He says that he does, and he says that they're headed back this direction to the trailhead. It's almost looking like they went cross country and are on a completely different trail. So the only thing I can come up with is for you guys to head back.
Okay, we'll turn around.
They needed to stay where they were.
In Refrigerator Canyon, Deputy Wood pulls his team off the mountain and hopes the hunters find their way home on their own.
I'm not going to keep my guys out there if these guys won't stay put. That's why they needed to stay where they were. He says he's going south and he found a trail. Well, there's no trail for miles heading to the south.
Finally, the hunters make it to the trailhead.
Pat?
Yeah.
I'm Alan.
Nice to meet you, Al.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
After 2 days on the mountain without food or shelter, these hunters are lucky to come out alive with just a couple bumps and bruises.
I slept too close to the fire last night. Literally.
Yeah. Does that happen down here too?
Yep. Oh, look at my zipper.
You had a good fire going, that's for sure.
I gotta cut my coat off.
Time for Pat to let his wife know he's alive.
Hello?
Hey, we're out.
What?
We're out. We're home.
Okay.
Everybody's good. So.
Wonderful. You get blankets on them first and then get your home.
Okay. I will. I love you.
Oh, you do.
All right, bye. You know, makes you appreciate things a little more, that's for sure. Holy cow.
For the deputies in Big Sky Country, no two calls are alike. Sometimes they're rescues, and sometimes they're infernos.
What do you got up in Mold?
Looks like a disturbance happening because of the fire. Got 3 to 4 people that are fighting right now.
Danforth, I'm going to go lights for a while until I get closer to get out of traffic.
10 apart.
It started out as a vehicle fire in a van, and now there's a disturbance. But what I'm really worried about is what started the fire, and did it have anything to do with a disturbance, a fight between these people? Why are they yelling at each other?
2 miles from the scene, Officer Mahoney spots big trouble.
You can see the smoke up there from the fire. Well, you see that much smoke this far away, we're probably going to have a total on the vehicle, so we'll... Oh yeah, there's flame. Looks like it's fully engulfed. They're at fire, pick it up because it's going to start the grass here in a sec. Whose van is it?
Nobody was in it when it happened.
So what happened?
It seemed like we ran out of gas. We were coasting for a while. She pulled over there at the flat spot. I put some gas in it. We're trying to start it, and we noticed smoke in the dash.
In the dash?
Yeah, and then in the back was already.
Okay, so who was driving?
She was driving. She just pulled over to there, and we couldn't get it out.
Okay.
Had to let it go.
Just hang tight here for a minute, all right? I'm going to go up there and see if I can get a plate before it's burned off. Can't get that front plate. No plate on it.
While he waits for the fire department, Mahoney digs for more.
I got to call it there was a disturbance out here. Somebody yelling and screaming.
It could be me yelling at them saying,
what the hell are you doing? Okay.
This is my house. I've got renters here.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay.
could be the disturbance.
Okay, that's fine.
That's calmed down. I'm just...
Okay. You were driving?
No, sir, I wasn't driving.
Who was driving? You were driving.
Yeah.
How come you told me she was driving?
Because I'm going to go to jail. Which I got suspended license.
Okay. Let's see what you got for ID then.
It's not the first time Officer Mahoney's met this suspect.
I don't recognize you, for God's sakes.
That's good.
You're putting on weight.
Yeah.
Last time I seen you, you're tweaking so bad you're skinny.
Yeah.
So you stopped smoking that then?
Oh, you got to. They're going to cut my back open from one end to the other here.
All right.
They're here finally.
Half the adult inmates in Montana are serving sentences for meth-related crimes. This driver's been known to use, and Mahoney's suspicious.
I'm going to go ask him a stupid question and see if he's got a record. That guy there is one of the biggest tweakers we got in Lockwood. I didn't recognize him. He stopped tweaking, he's put on a good 30 pounds. But if there's any reason why that thing's burning that hot, it's because he's still cooking. See that bright white? That's water hitting phosphorus. See, look at that, look at that. That's a precursor to meth. You say you're off of meth now?
Yeah, got to. I got to have another surgery and stuff.
Well, what I got to ask you about is some of the sparks and the flame coming off that thing. Didn't look normal. What was in that vehicle?
The clothes, a few cans of paint and maybe a couple empty cans of...
Was there propane in the propane tank, or was there something else in it?
There was at least half or more in the propane tank.
There was no ammonium in there?
No, there's no ammonium in it.
You're sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
But I seen a lot of white sparks and crap coming out of that thing.
I'm positive. I'm positive. There's
nothing for cooking in there?
Nope, never have, never will. That's like the word murder to me, but I ain't no idiot.
But Mahoney's not buying it.
Without a doubt, it's a meth cook. I mean, he's known for meth. There was something in there burning other than the vehicle. But all the evidence is gone now. The trouble is, I don't see him. I didn't have him driving. I got him standing back here. So.
Without evidence, the suspected driver's free to go. But his passenger isn't so lucky.
He's got a warrant over there.
You got a warrant for your arrest, turn around.
I do for what?
Turn around.
What do I got a warrant for?
Theft from a building.
Oh, yeah.
If you get a vehicle with a lot of dopers in it, you're going to get warrants for one thing or another. If not for dope, for stealing to get the money to get the dope.
Oh, you all right? Yeah.
It's just another night in Big Sky country, and Mahoney knows there's likely more to come on his shift tonight.
Still got 10 hours left. What kind of good stuff are we going to get now?
In the small town of Darby, Police Chief Larry Rose has been the long arm of the law for 30 years.
Guy right there pulled a gun on me on the sidewalk right there at one time, and I was able to get mine out and stop him before we got a shot off. We had quite a few little deals up here in Darby with guns.
Guns are common in Big Sky country. So much so, this gun was found in a public area.
I wonder whose that is. 45, 1911, yeah. Where did you find it?
Before you get to the corner down there, it was laying right in the middle of the road.
It wouldn't have been there very long, would it? Somebody would have picked it up?
No, I mean, it was right where you brought over it.
Now Marshal Rose must track down its owner and the story behind why it went missing.
We got that video down on Water Street. Maybe I can see whose it was. Okay, it'd be in this road right here. Right.
Yeah, that's me walking out there to get it.
Oh, wow. We'll find that. What's this? Oh, there it is, that guy right there.
Oh, amazing. He came out of there and turned and fell off.
One of two lawmen in town, Marshal Rose relies on modern technology to help keep the peace. Darby has 27 surveillance cameras, all with an eye on crime.
That one right there in the black, little black thing there, that's camera number 9. There we go. It just looks like a birdhouse. But you got to have them in the right place, in the right areas.
For the cameras to work, they need to be hidden.
See that one there? Just in a block of wood. That's worked real well, that camera.
Now Darby's eyes in the sky can assist in this abandoned gun case.
See the gun in the air? There it is.
Rose hones in on the license plate to find the gun's owner.
Maybe it's that out-of-state plate. Yes, it is. Hey, I need a 28. It's on a pickup.
He calls in the plate and traces the gun's serial number.
Okay, that's it.
Problem is, the owner of the car isn't the same as the gun.
Maybe we got a theft.
In the small town of Darby, Marshal Larry Rose has a missing gun on his hands. Surveillance footage traces it back to this pickup, but the truck's owner doesn't match the name registered to the weapon.
did some checking, we found out that the person driving the vehicle has a history of burglaries and things like that. So it gets a little suspicious that maybe that firearm was stolen.
Now it's time to track down the gun's owner.
Is this the gun?
Yes, that is my pistol.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
Okay, well, what was they doing with it?
Who's they?
Matthew.
They didn't have it.
Do you think they stole it?
No, they grabbed it, obviously. If they excuse my language, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
The gun owner knows the driver of the suspected truck.
My wife took him to Spokane to go to that little truck that they were driving.
Yeah.
And I had her take it with her because I'd like to have her, keep a gun in the car when she drives.
Yeah.
But I had it yesterday.
Did they see it yesterday?
I don't think so.
No, okay. I mean, if it's a theft, they're going to get
yeah, definitely. I will press charges.
Well, yeah, sure. I don't blame you. I would too.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, you bet.
Marshal Rose has the gun owner's story. Now he hunts down the owner of the truck.
Oh, here they are right here. Here they are. Look at it. Oh, looky. Howdy, howdy.
Hey.
How you doing?
Nothing.
Hey, yesterday who was with you yesterday when you was driving around Darby there?
I wasn't driving around Darby. I've been in this.
Yeah, yesterday you was with this vehicle. Hey, could I talk to you down at City Hall?
Yeah.
You're going to be down there? Can you?
We're going to Hamilton to get breakfast.
Okay.
Get something to eat.
Yeah, okay. How long will it be before you get back from Hamilton?
Probably an hour.
Okay. Can you get a hold of me then? We just want to talk to you about some things that went on there in Darby. Okay. Okie doke.
Okay.
See you later. Yeah.
Rose heads back to the office to dig deeper into the case. He learns the suspect is on probation for burglary and isn't allowed to possess firearms. When the suspect shows up later, Rose digs in.
He was over at Colt's yesterday. Did he have any weapons around there or anything?
I think he's had his 45.
Okay.
But he keeps that in his truck.
Okay. Did you see that yesterday?
No.
You didn't see it? No. While you was over there, was you separated from Colt at any time?
We were talking maybe the whole time with him, and the whole time he was out there, the gun was in his truck.
Yeah.
It was never in his possession until he walked into the house.
Oh, I thought you said you never saw the pistol yesterday.
Well, I seen it when he walked into the house.
A minute ago, you said you never saw the gun yesterday.
Well, okay, I did see him walk to his house with it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, how come you told me before that you never saw it yesterday?
I just didn't really remember.
The man's story just doesn't add up, so Rose hammers down.
See, I don't think you're being completely honest here. And you're not supposed to have firearms. Did you handle a gun?
No, I didn't.
Because your girlfriend had taken a gun and put it in your back of your truck?
She never got out of the truck.
Uh-huh.
She was in the truck the whole time.
But then something clicks, and the suspect starts to make sense of it all.
I remember when we went to leave, he walked over, set it on the bed, right by the cab, and then he must have left it there when we took off. I wasn't paying attention when we left.
Well, that probably explains a lot of things. The last thing we want to do is, accuse or charge somebody with something they didn't do. So I appreciate you coming in. And okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
A little while later, the gun's owner pays Rose a visit.
Oh.
I actually have some information that I need to tell you. Matthew didn't take it.
I know it. We just talked to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I was talking to my mom, and I was like, yeah, this is what happened. I went through the entire thing with her, and I said it on the back of the truck. I'm like, oh my God. And immediately I'm like, we gotta go to the cop shop. We gotta tell Larry, he didn't steal it,
Yeah,
We checked down here, and I totally remember it.
Okay. Well, I'll give it back to you right now. It's out here in the car. Okay, here it is, right there.
Alrighty.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
You glad to get that back, huh?
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. Okay. Yeah.
Guns can be dangerous weapons on the frontier, but so can cars.
We're looking for a blue Jeep Cherokee with severe front end damage. It just crashed into another vehicle and fled the scene.
Now the clock is ticking to find the suspect.
It fled the other direction, though. It fled westbound on the frontage road towards Belgrade. And we're going to go down there and check it out. You got to think kind of like they do sometimes, but also from experience, too. You know, most of the time they'll ditch off as soon as they can and try to get off somewhere else where there's not going to be any police.
But one thing's for sure. The victim in the ditch isn't going anywhere. On a snowy Montana night, Officer Henninger is trying to track down a hit-and-run driver.
Anybody else in the car, or just you two?
Just
okay.
2 of us.
You don't need medical or anything like that? Everybody's fine? You okay? Did you watch the guy's taillights for as long as you could?
I was in the ditch. I couldn't tell you how far he went. But,
okay.
You know, I walk up the road to go talk to the fella so we can work it out, and he's up there starting the thing. As high as my truck is, he should be overheating sooner than later.
Officer Henninger analyzes the truck damage to determine which way the other vehicle fled.
Appears there is a fluid trail. I don't think he probably made it too far. The guy said it was sputtering out and stuff.
Then dispatch calls with good news.
Yes, they found it down there, so. Other officers are out there with it right now. From what I understand, a witness actually followed the vehicle down here. This is the road I figured it would probably turn off on anyways. Looks like they're doing DUI maneuvers on him.
Just a mile from the crash, Officer Vanuka gives Henninger the scoop on the suspect.
No whiff of alcohol. He says he doesn't drink. He says he's not taking any medication. Or he's not under any doctor's care. But he is really out of it. His maneuvers are very unsatisfactory.
Did he say why he left?
It's a great story. Basically, he was coming from the Walmart area on frontage. His car turned out. He rear-ended it and then drove here.
While officers question the driver, Henninger checks out his car.
This thing is just toast. I mean, look at this. This guy just drove that far with his vehicle in this condition. I mean, the radiator's completely blown out. I mean, everything. I mean, the tire's rubbing. I can't believe this thing made it this far. I'm amazed. I'm more amazed nobody got hurt. I'm glad nobody got hurt, because this could have been a lot worse. This could have been a lot worse. A 4-year-old little girl in there. This guy blows a red light. Huh. Amazing.
The man claims he's not on medication, but a pill bottle in his cooler says different. They charge him with driving under the influence of drugs and hit and run. In northern Montana, on the banks of Flathead Lake, Montana's finest are on a unique mission.
What we want to do today is go out on Wild Horse Island out here, and we're going to be surveying for the bighorn sheep.
Biologist John Vore works with the Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Department. It's his job to regulate the animals on the island.
Wild Horse Island got its name, at least the way I understand it, because the Native Americans would, when they were threatened by being raided by other tribes, would move their horses out there so that they could be protected. So just for the name's sake, we keep some horses out there. There's 6 out there right now.
But the island's most famous for its population of bighorn sheep. To count and classify them, John must take to the air.
Let's do it.
His targets are always on the move.
There's a bunch of sheep out there. I know. Should we get those first? Yeah, why don't we just get those first?
Vore uses the noise of the helicopter to herd the sheep out of hiding.
And then there's more in the trees. That's 27 until we get to the second bunch in the trees. That little bunch in the trees, let's see if we can get those. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of them there now.
The island spans 2,100 acres and offers plenty of cover.
That's an old boy right there. Where is he here? Right out the door here, coming up straight in those trees. Oh yeah. You may not want to come out of there. Come on, buddy. Just want to take your picture and all. That's the Very nice, very nice. Just amazing. Look at that guy. I think he'd fall over forward, wouldn't you? Holy cow.
They count nearly 200 sheep living on the island. Mission accomplished. But getting an accurate count is the first step in the process.
We had 190. We'd like to keep the population at about 100 sheep. We know that we're overpopulated, and we've been trying to reduce it with moving them. We catch them and move them off of there, but other management options, of course, like hunting, are not something we can use here because it's a state park and it's within the Flathead Indian Reservation. So we're going to take 50 sheep off.
Now the challenge is to find and capture them. And after Montana dumps a blanket of fresh snow, the operation is on. The pilot will use a compact helicopter with a short rotor span to maneuver net shooters into position.
It's simply amazing to see them operate out there and see them fly. They're some of the best helicopter pilots in the world, and the New Zealand crews in particular are well known for their ability to fly these fast little ships and capture animals. Their mugger crews are well known as well, and those are the guys that are jumping out of the helicopter and actually securing the animals after they've been netted.
50 sheep across several miles of rocky and forested terrain. It's dangerous work. All the team can do is hope the bighorn play nice.
You know, if we work in a group here, you give me a group 200 yards away and we can't do anything with them. If we're busy, you can maybe drift them.
You might be able to push them through that because the timber isn't real thick.
The compact helo locks and loads, then takes to the sky. On the mainland, animal specialists set up a camp to process the sheep after they're caught.
That looks pretty good.
Fish, Wildlife, and Parks pilot Joe Ron follows the capture crew to help spot bighorn.
You don't have to worry about anything on this end.
It's not long before they locate the first group of sheep.
There's a whole bunch to our left here.
The island's tall trees make for a tricky hunt.
Sheep down here in the trees where they like to hide.
Ron flushes the sheep out into the open, and the capture team and the other helo waits to make their move.
I'm gonna get out of here and lay to over. Hey, really, that's them out. Yeah, there's one right there on the rock.
The chopper moves in.
There's David.
But the sheep find their cover in the trees.
Got away.
No one said it'd be easy, but on this island there are bighorns everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't want to come out of there.
A quick maneuver gives the crew an open shot. On Wild Horse Island, Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks officials are moving bighorn sheep in an effort to regulate the herd. But first, they've got to catch them. One down, 49 to go. They jump ship to secure the first 3 animals.
Got it. Tell me when. Go.
This is the quickest and most humane way to capture and remove the sheep from the island.
Just when they can't see it, it calms them down a little bit. They don't stress quite as much. It certainly helps a lot. We'll hook them on the bottom of the helicopter and fly them back to the mainland. Then they're going to be transported to somewhere 10 miles away, I think. Their new home.
This helicopter has a 1,200-pound weight capacity. That's about 5 sheep. They examine each sheep before moving them to their new home.
When you move animals from one place to another, you move all the bacteria and all the parasites, things that they're carrying go with them. So we're screening them so that we know what we're moving, and we're trying to give them antiparasitics to minimize the risk to the population they're going to.
We're on our way back here, yeah.
The roundup continues.
Awesome.
By the end of the operation, they have 45 sheep in custody. Next stop for these bighorns, the Salish and Kootenai Indian Reservation. After 2 days of hard work, it's time to release these majestic animals back to the Montana wilds.
Are we ready?
An unexpected spring snowstorm is pounding northeast Montana, wreaking havoc on the roads and cutting off rural farms from food and water. So the sheriffs called out the Green Monster.
Hey, it's R5. All right, we got the snowcat. We're going to be heading up 10:04 right now. Yeah. All right.
Ready?
Ready?
Okay.
Right now we're heading probably about 10 miles up on road 1004 to go after some residences that have been cut off due to the snow. We're going to be checking all these farmhouses to make sure that they're okay.
This 5-ton rescue machine was built especially to tackle this type of rugged landscape.
The Snowcat's an ex-military vehicle used for either mountain warfare or basically also for rescue missions in the mountain area. And in the backs, we'll be able to fit 12 people, and it's also got a stretcher in there in case we gotta carry someone out.
But first, Deputy Cantrell's got to reach the stranded residents.
Feeling good. This machine's going through. We just got done going through about a 9-foot drift.
He's making good time when
broke a track. Yeah, I broke a track.
if he can't get back up and running soon, it may cost someone their life. Roosevelt County sheriffs are on a rescue mission in the Montana countryside. A sudden snowstorm has left rural residents cut off, and the Green Monster is their only hope for supplies. But Deputy Cantrell has a problem.
The Snowcat's an ex-military vehicle used for either mountain warfare or basically also for rescue missions in the mountain area. And in the backs, we'll be able to fit 12 people, and it's also got a stretcher in there in case we gotta carry someone out. good. This machine's going through. We just got done going through about a 9-foot drift. Yeah, I broke a track. The centerpiece of our track right here broke.
We got a problem with the green monster.
Oh yeah, what's going on?
The center piece on the driver's side track broke.
Is the track still on?
Yeah, the track's still on.
If you have to turn, make a wide turn.
Roger that.
Okay, all right, man.
Deputy Cantrell is down but not out, and pushes on to help the cut-off farmers. But if the track falls off, their green monster will be dead in the snow.
Come on. Hold on, stop.
10 miles away, they reach the first snowbound farm and a serious problem.
You guys done from the south?
Yes.
So it's passable now?
No.
There's 9 10-foot drifts.
We're out of water for ourselves. We have cattle in the corral that don't have water. We have pigs in the barn that don't have water. And so we are really desperate for water.
Well, we'll be making a second trip today. If you guys can hang tight, we can get some water for you guys, and we can work on something for your animals.
The team hands over what few supplies they have.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks.
You were a welcome sight. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, no problem.
They head to the next farm where they've received a call for help. But the further they go, the tougher the terrain gets. It's not long before they make it to their next residence.
They've been without power and water since yesterday, I believe. So we're gonna move them back to where they can be safe.
But the caller is nowhere to be found.
Sheriff's office.
So the team looks for clues to his disappearance.
Nothing.
If he's stranded outside, he could face a quick death. The cold kills more people in Montana than anywhere else in the lower 48.
Gates open and there's tracks going across the dam. I'll wait here if you guys want to mount up and follow those tracks.
Okay. Right now we're gonna check out into that field. Looked like to be a fresh set of tire tracks. So they could have been trying to look for their cattle. We're just gonna see if we could find any vehicles out there.
After a quick search, nothing.
Basically what I'm thinking is someone came and already picked them up. So right now we're gonna head east to other farms, see if they're in need of water or anything that we could get them.
They head back out in search of others desperate for help, bringing comfort and justice to those living under Montana's big sky.
Can't get any better.